We do like big full moon ceremonies and meditation ceremonies where we're in breathwork ceremony for like an hour. We have that experience in ceremony where we're just designed to keep ourselves safe, whether that's from primal days where we're worried about external dangers such as the saber-toothed tiger, to now a lot of our stress and a lot of the things we're challenged by are psychological. Things like crying, releasing of breath, all these different little psychosomatic things are a way to release trauma that's stuck in our cells. Some people don't really work well with any type of carbohydrates. Their body goes into a fight or flight response where they're storing more adipose fat tissue because they don't agree with the carbohydrates that they're taking in. When we're talking about healing and getting a faster anti-aging response to the tissue, is red light is producing more collagen elastin. It's producing more ATP. With peptides, there's ones for regulating hormone production and growth hormone release. We have one that we've had great success with, which is, it's called the Wolverine blend, same as the superhero. Our gut is basically our second brain. So if we have issues in our microbiome where we're not able to digest food or take the nutrients we want to, or it's causing an inflammatory response, that's going to have a huge amount of different responses within the body, from brain fog to skin issues.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Maddie.
And this is
The Newport Psycho. Okay, you're going to love this one. We are joined today by Troy Laing. Troy, who or what is your psycho?
My psycho is all about biohacking and optimizing human performance.
Yeah, I am going to like this
Like biohacking, like we all want that. And it's all over like social media right now. I'm like, what can I do to be young and beautiful forever?
Can we like just give a definition of what those two are? Because I know that when viewers listen, they're going to be like, what the heck is biohacking? And do you give us like the...
Yeah, so the biohacking is really what we're doing is hacking into our biology. And that can come in the form of technologies and treatments such as hyperbaric oxygen or red light, or things like supplements, peptides, where you're really taking control over your biological response to an external substance or influence. So that's the form of biohacking. And then when we're using technologies or things to biohack our body, we're optimizing our cellular function to optimize cellular performance. We're made up of trillions of cells, and how those cells produce energy and how they communicate between each other is basically how we optimize our cellular function, which gives us that optimized performance, stamina, so great for athletes, recovery, or even just longevity and wanting to live longer.
Wow.
Okay, so out of
That's
like
amazing.
all the services you have, what's your favorite?
So I'm a huge cold plunge enthusiast, and I teach a guided breathwork, and I teach breathwork practices around cold plunging, so you do get the maximum benefits out of cold plunging. Why that's my favorite is because there's never a time where it gets easier. There's never a day where you want to get in freezing cold water.
No.
And there are huge physiological benefits, but the mental and psychological benefits for me, I think far outweigh the practice as a physical therapy, because when you're inherently doing something you don't want to do, like getting into a cold plunge, you're actually rewiring your brain and how you manage stress and discomfort by pushing yourself outside that comfort zone. And then when we're using our breath to control our environment, we're utilizing that in any environment. So if you're a high level athlete, you're wanting to control your breath when you go into a fight, or you're going into a race or something where you really want to have that control. And for day-to-day life, if you're faced with stress or confrontation, our fight or flight response, normally we hold our breath or start to breathe really quickly, and that's where we go into fight or flight response. So when you're controlling your breath, which is what we teach as part of our cold plunge practice, you're actually controlling your physiological response to the environment, so you can make better decisions, have more emotional control over the environment.
Your breath is so important. So I just in general, your breath and how to bring yourself back to like a state of like homeostasis is so important.
Yeah.
And that's something that it's hard to practice and it's hard to learn. So it's really cool that you're able to teach that to people. How long does it usually take for somebody to grasp that and like, apply it into daily life?
So with our cold plunge practice, we do about 3 rounds. It's about 12 minutes just to create a foundational basis for someone about to go into the cold plunge. So it's all done externally. Breath work is a really easy practice when taught correctly to really grasp how to utilize that. So outside of that, we do like big full moon ceremonies and meditation ceremonies where we're in breathwork ceremony for like an hour, which is more transcendental type breathwork, having an outer body type experience. But for simple breathwork practices, 10 to 15 minutes, you can really get a hold on understanding how to utilize your breath for that emotional fight or flight control.
My brother and I did a breathwork class.
Did you?
Yeah, it was an intense, like almost like how you say it's like transcend, like it's like stuff like literally coming out. It was led by a shaman.
Yep.
And it was the craziest experience, the coolest experience though, because I think my brother and I went into it not knowing exactly what we were going to experience, but then leading through your breath. And I would like to say that I have a pretty like, I can control my mind pretty well.
Yeah.
But like going through something like that and then just feeling your body just like almost like an insane out of body experience. And then my brother and I sat on opposite sides of the room too. So we're not like, you know, but it's crazy how you say it. It literally stuff is like coming out. Like you feel like stress is just like gone.
Like released.
And I mean, there was people in there, even myself at times, it was like, you almost felt like
brings
heavy.
up a lot of emotion too.
Brings up a lot of emotion. There was people crying. There's people screaming. And I think it's something that you can't control. And but like for me, it was more like tight, like, you know, like the tightness of it. And I was like, oh, like I'm holding on to a lot of things that are making me feel like very tight. And then
I feel like that's how I would be too.
To allow it to release, and then the release was cool.
Yeah, and that's we have that experience in ceremony, and even with cold plunging, where we're just designed to keep ourselves safe. Whether that's you know, from primal days where we're worried about external dangers such as the saber-toothed tiger, as people refer to, back being hunter-gatherers, to now a lot of our stress and a lot of the things we're challenged by are psychological. So we're trying to protect ourselves from our inner struggles and trauma. And with breath work, and plant medicine, similar things where you're releasing this control over those emotions because you're relaxing your nervous system. So we have experiences from people feeling less discomfort and pain from physical injuries, and then also the releasing of trauma because you're able to activate your ability to open up and see that trauma and release it. When we talk about psychosomatics, which is where we're releasing energy from the body specifically related to trauma and emotional challenges, things like crying, releasing of breath, all these different little psychosomatic things are a way to release trauma that's stuck in our cells. So
we don't even realize it's stuck in there too. It's the craziest part.
So it's like physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
Which, because like I know you do, I mean, you do obviously like the average person. Like I've been to your place, but then you also do a lot of athletes.
Yeah, so I love mixed martial arts. I grew up from a very young age in that environment, so I've always been a huge fan of all kinds of different martial arts, from boxing, kickboxing, to now we have UFC with all combined martial arts. So I love athletes because I love the mentality behind athletes. They're always seeking to push their body a little bit further, to push their psychological mindset to the next level. So with what we do a lot of physical aspects of like optimizing the physical form of what the body can do, but really having a strong connection to mindset and psychology around how to get the most out of your body, because our body can physically be put through many tough challenges, as we see with Navy SEAL training and high-level athletes. And what we can do, where we break down, is the psychological aspect, like how strong is our mind. And that's what we get that through meditation, through breath work, through really having control over our nervous system, through thought, breath, and our mindset to get us in the right optimized performance aspect so that we can get the most out of our body.
I think it's so crazy. My brother's best friend, he was Navy SEAL, and some of the things that they go through in that insane, like rigorous practice, the main thing that they try to teach you is it's in here.
Yeah.
Everything's in here. Like once you learn to unlock this just becomes like insane.
Yeah.
It takes it from like 0 to 100. Once you learn how to unlock that.
There's a local guy, Max, I don't know if I'll pronounce his surname right. I think it's Joliffe. He's an ultra marathon runner, so he became a client of ours after he competed the Moab 250, which is a 240-mile race, which is non-stop. They're going for like 3 days with 40-minute rest periods here and there.
Moly.
And, you know, when you look at ultra athletes like that, the mental like strength and mental fortitude and mindset that they have to go to push their body through these challenges is next level, like to be able to push through those challenges. But it's all in the psychology of like how you think about how you can perform. And when your body's breaking down, it's your mind that shifts and gets that most extra like reach out of your body that it can. So
what, I don't know if you're allowed to say, what treatments was he doing?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're just a performance and recovery center, so anyone can come and do what we do. It's not under any sort of HIPAA or
yeah, that's
doctors.
true.
But the therapies that we had him on was our super healing protocol, which is a combination of 4 different therapies.
Okay.
So we have starting on our PEMF mat, which is pulse electromagnetic frequency mat. This is all about increasing blood flow and microcirculation, reducing inflammation in the body, and increasing cellular energy or ATP production. But while he's on that, he's wearing what we call our BrainTap. Have you used that?
Mm-hmm.
So our BrainTap is an audio headset that uses light and audio frequency, and that's actually shifting your brainwave activity into more of a delta or theta state, which is your parasympathetic state of recovery. So in treatment, our brain is what's sending and receiving signals for healing the body. So we want you to be in that parasympathetic state of recovery, so that when you go on to our red light bed, which is the next part of the protocol, your brain is able to maximize the benefits of that healing therapy, and then so forth. After that, we go into a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and that's going to increase the amount of oxygen and ATP production you can get. So they synergistically work together to get a huge cellular response in regards to healing and performance. That's why we stack things and combine protocols, because they're maximizing the benefits of each other.
I was gonna say they all like, it's like you have to throw the kitchen sink at it almost.
Yeah, it's like
right?
intertwined. Like it's like they all like help each other, even make it better.
It's all like synergistic, so it all works together to like compound this insane like mechanism to like help your cells just
and just using different mechanisms of action. So obviously PMF is more frequency waves,
right?
Light therapy is light stimulation, and then in the hyperbaric we're using pressure and high levels of oxygen to stimulate similar responses. When we talk about our cells' response to optimizing its performance, the 3 main things we're looking at is increasing blood flow and circulation around the body, specifically microcirculation, reducing inflammation in the body, and then increasing ATP or cellular energy. So all 3 of them have an aspect of how they do that, but then when they're combined together, they optimize and boost the effects of each other.
Yeah.
What's the micro? You were just saying like the microcirculation, is that just like sitting right on top?
Microcirculation is more of our arteries and capillaries, the smaller vascular pathways that feed nutrients and blood flow to certain areas. So when we talk about circulation and nutrient displacement around the body, hyperbaric is so powerful because we are flooding the body with oxygen, like 95 to 100% oxygen, and that's being saturated into our blood plasma and then forced into the tissue. So when our body is breaking down through age or through high-level athlete training, or even just exposure to our environments, environmental toxins and chemicals that we're just absorbing because our body's like a sponge, we need to detox the body. So getting more oxygen into the cell produces more energy, and then that cell can do its job by detoxifying the body, reducing inflammation. The red light bed is our cells are absorbing red light and converting that into ATP. So you see how oxygen is doing one thing, it's providing something, more energy to get more energy out of the cell. And with light, it's absorbing that energy. So we're absorbing something on the outside to get more energy production out of the cell for it to do its job. So that's how they synergistically are doing different things.
Dang, that's so crazy. Right? What is ATP? Because I know people are probably listening. They're like, what is ATP?
Adenosine triphosphate, which is cellular energy.
Okay, got it. So what would you say like is the ideal diet for like wellness, like that you would like say maybe just for us, maybe like an average,
or like what you recommend,
or for
for peak performance, because you're all about like wellness biohacking. Is there like something that like you recommend?
So I mean, the diet one is a really tough one because we are also biologically different. And we all actually have different responses to the food that we intake. So my diet may not work at all well for you, or it might be perfect, but for me, my diet has been pretty simple and straightforward from when I was a kid, just from the family I grew up in. Always a lean meat, always a good carbohydrate, and always some good form of fats through avocado, olive oil, coconut oil. So very simple and straightforward. And I think it comes down to understanding how your body reacts to the food you're eating, because you'll have an inflammatory response to certain foods that don't agree with you. But then some people don't really work well with any type of carbohydrates. Their body goes into a fight or flight response where they're storing more adipose fat tissue because they don't agree with the carbohydrates that they're taking in. So it's really about playing a strong balancing game with understanding what foods you respond to well. I think for most people, we don't want to lack the ability to have a decent amount of high-level lean proteins in our diet. Proteins are our building blocks to our cells and to the proteins within our body. So it's very important that you do have some form of protein. I know some people steer away from animal source proteins, but there's just so many vital minerals and protein intake that you get from animal products that it's really hard to fit into like a vegetarian or vegan diet, because then you can't get what you need from simple foods. You need to start combining foods to get a biological response to the food intake so that you get that energy production out.
Yeah. Well, you're speaking to two huge
I was gonna say we're
carnivores
carnivores.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
we love meat. Like we
literally
love meat.
give me a steak every
Dude,
day and I'd
I
be
could
happy.
eat a steak every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
I was gonna. So what is like your top favorite like proteins, lean proteins that you would say like these are like my top, like the maybe like healthiest, but maybe like the top?
Yeah, I love chicken and turkey. I'm a big proponent for seafood, so I eat like a lot of seafood. I love fish. But then things with fish you got to be careful of is the type of fish you're eating, because bigger fish tend to have high levels of heavy metals in them,
like mercury and things like that.
Yeah. So, and then I love lean red meat. So I love fillet steaks. It's one of my favorite things to eat. Yeah, so that will be my top 3 protein sources. Yeah.
Wait, I love it because it fillet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I knew what you meant.
No, I know.
So
I love it. When,
I'm like, I got you.
I love
Troy.
it when people aren't like they have the accent, and I'm like, I just love it. Now I want to call it
Yeah.
fillet.
Yeah.
Like now I just want to call it a fillet steak.
So, okay, like obviously there's like so many things that you read on social media. There's so many things that like people are like, do this for biohacking, do this for wellness, like la 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 la. This is what you do for a living. So is there any like trend that like wellness trend or like biohacking trend or whatever that people like are saying is amazing that you're like, I'm not all about it?
No, I think one thing to bring up is there's a big hyper focus around red light, but there's so many devices on the market.
Yes.
And there is, we have the LightStim LED light
the
device.
light
Best
stim.
one.
We have it at our practice too.
Yeah.
Light
Well, we
stim
just
is
have like the face one for like our facials.
they're like the pioneers of
They
the
are the pioneers and leaders in LED light technology, and there's a reason why their technology provides more benefits and what their products share scientifically actually do because of the rigorous testing that they've been through. There's a huge focus around red light, but their devices have infrared wavelengths of light in that as well as red light. Red light is only a very small portion of what is happening to the tissue when you have red light devices. But when we're talking about healing and getting a faster healing or anti-aging response to the tissue, is red light is producing more collagen elastin. It's producing more ATP. But one of the most important things is blood flow and circulation to the tissue to get either anti-aging benefits or healing benefits, which comes from the introduction of infrared wavelengths of light, which is combined with red light. So a lot of devices on the market, one, don't have infrared as part of the delivery mechanism. And also red light devices, the way LED bulbs project light frequencies is it's shooting it right into the tissue. So there's no refraction of light, or you see a lot of these blankets that have they're LED chips. So a chip doesn't direct light straight into the tissue. So whilst your skin on the outside may be exposed to red light and it may have some benefits, when we're talking about a deeper cellular response, you're just not going to get that from a lot of other devices that are on the market. So there is a huge difference between something that is on the cheaper side that doesn't have some technologies of these devices like LightStim that makes a huge difference. And a lot of these companies are also selling their products based on science and not the testing of their products and what they can do.
Because
sorry, no, go ahead.
No, LightStim is like all contingent. The reason why I love LightStim, I'm actually certified with LightStim, is their nanometers and wavelengths on how they actually project into the skin, like actually completely blew my mind when you compare them in contrast to these other companies. Like you say, they have science backing, but theirs is actually action based. So it's with the science and action base of actually studying, it's pretty legit. Because we have clients and patients all the time that ask about that, and I'm like, you can't just go and buy the $300 mask online. It's really not going to do anything for you.
You have to make sure it's a certain wavelength, everything like that. And I'm really glad that you like brought that up, because we have so many people that reach out to us. They're like, hey, like, is this good? You know, like one of those little wand things. And I'm like, honestly, like,
no,
maybe you'll get some benefit, but there's no like true research like behind it on that.
And there's not enough clinical studies and trials behind those other devices. Where LightStim's been around for over 20 years.
They're the first ones to get FDA approved.
They're the only ones currently with their bed that are FDA approved.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Speaking of like kind of like just like biohacking and like obviously like rejuvenation and everything like healthy, right? You talked about peptides.
Yeah.
This is a huge.
This is a huge thing.
This
right
is
now.
insane right now. Yeah, we take BPC-157.
Well, let's get into it first. I want to see.
If we're on the right ones.
Yeah. So peptides are huge because they're really the way forward in molecular medicine. And with peptides, they're small branch chain amino acids. So think of Lego blocks, how we put Lego blocks together.
Yeah.
Different peptides are a certain amount of Lego blocks being put together that peptides attach to our cell receptors, and they're signaling that cell to do what we're asking it to do. So while peptides are so good, it's almost mechanically forcing. Say, for instance, BP-157 is a really good peptide for repairing damaged tissue, ligaments. It's actually been shown to be really good for people with gut problems, digestive issues. But then you have now with peptides, there's ones for regulating hormone production and growth hormone release. We have one that we've had great success with, which is, it's called the Wolverine blend, same as the superhero. Ooh. It's extremely regenerative. So it has BP-157, but mixed with TB-500, which is a really powerful combined peptide for healing and recovery. So anything from recovering from surgery, muscular tears or strains. And then it's also very anti-inflammatory. So a lot of peptides are trying to reduce inflammation to the area by signaling the cell response to get that cell to respond the way it's designed to. When we talk about cellular dysfunction, our environments really construct a way where our cells start to break down and they don't communicate well with each other, and they don't produce the energy they need. So what we're doing with peptides is basically providing an external influence to stimulate that cell's response by attaching to the cell receptor, and that's what the peptide is doing, is activating the cell's actual role to heal the body, reduce inflammation, repair damaged tissue. Or we have anti-aging, so we're producing more collagen and elastin to get that skin tightening effect. Just depends on the peptides.
Don't want that.
So would you highly recommend always mixing the BPC-157 with TB? Which you consider the Wolverine blend?
Yeah, it depends what your perspective outlook is why you're using it. You're going to get if it's for healing and recovery, like regenerating, a muscular or ligament or tendon type problem, you're going to get a much better response from a healing point of view. And it is a blend that's made together, so you can actually have them separately and do them separately as a blend, but you can buy them combined as a peptide as well.
And can we talk about this too, because there's like a million different companies and everything like that.
It's not regulated.
It's not regulated, right? And so there really is an importance of going to somebody that like you, or you know what I'm saying, like a practitioner or whatever, that probably gets it from something that's third party tested, that's actually a legit peptide company.
Yep.
Because I can't tell you how many people have they're like, oh, I just got it online or whatever, and isn't that
kind of sketch?
It is definitely, because you're basically injecting
random shit
into your body. So you want to know the efficacy of where it was made, the testing it went through, the purity of it. Because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's going to somewhere like you. It's okay, and not only that, but you're obviously a wellness center, right? So you're going to know, hey, for your needs, I think this is going to be best and this is how I would do it. And I think that's what the safest thing to do.
Yeah, and we actually source our peptides through a doctor in Newport who all our peptides are from a compounding pharmacy, one of the leading pharmacies in the country. I think they're in Utah. But we also request that we actually get the paperwork from the peptide batches that shows all their testing and all their purity so that we know all our products are of the highest standard.
That makes me feel so much better because I have so many, we have like so many like people that like want to be on it and everything. And I'm like, please don't get it online. Like go somewhere that's like legit and like
cheaper is not always better, people.
That
Cheaper
does
is
that.
not always better. Cheaper is not
and
always
there's
better.
a lot of,
especially when it comes to your health and your body.
Yeah, and there's especially when you're putting something in your body.
1000%.
And there's a lot of black market stuff out there because
1000.
it is unregulated. And but the challenging thing with peptides, and I get stuck when it comes to government regulations because we unfortunately live in a country where, for the most part, the government really doesn't have our best interests at heart when it comes to health. Maybe the current administration is trying to focus and push us that way, but in general, with the healthcare system or the sick care system, and we have doctors that aren't really looking to find the root cause of someone's health issues. There's too much push towards pharmaceutical intervention without looking at root cause and starting with simple things like a diet. Doctors go to school and they learn nothing about nutrition. To me, that's kind of crazy. You should be starting at the basis of like where all health comes from, which is what you put in your body.
1000%.
Which is tying that back to peptides. You don't just want to buy something. You wouldn't buy it off the street. So why would you buy it off a random website that's coming from, you don't know where? Is it coming out of... You don't know. You don't have any connection to where it's coming from. So if you're going to be finding something through a source that goes through deep regulations, then you're getting a product that's been tested. It's been made in a space that is designed for this. So you're getting high purity
and sanitary, and safe. Like, good Lord.
But like he said, coming with the proper documentation of the batch and the purity. Like, because I know where we get ours from is this like the same, like it's
like third party tested, like everything, they manufacture everything, and then they even send it out somewhere else to get tested because like they're very and I'm like, and we're only doing like BPC and NAD, but it's like still like I want to make sure that like, because if you can get it anywhere, and like I love that you went into that too, because even though my degree is in Western medicine, like I have like kind of like conformed where it's like I try to figure out like what's the root cause. Even like when patients come to me and they're acne, I'm like, okay, instead of just getting them on doxycycline right away or spirulactone or Accutane, I'm like, what's your diet? What are you eating? Like, tell me about like your routine. Like I try to like, let's figure this out first, because what if there's something that's just like causing like your gut, because a lot of the times like a lot of our skin issues are what we're eating and what's in our gut. So I'm like, what, maybe you're eating something, maybe you shouldn't be eating dairy, and that's really what's causing all this acne. Or maybe like there's something wrong with the diet. Like, let's kind of like take a step back before we like get you on all these interventions and see if we can like treat it naturally too.
That's why I love the way that we approach it, because your skin tells I'm an esthetician, but like your skin tells all about your health. And like it's funny because when even us, like when we have like some inconsistency in our skin, I'm like, ooh, something's going on. Like how she talks about like KP's liver. It's like in your liver. Like there's different like factors on your face that target what is going on in your body.
And it's like even like some of the healthiest people, they'll have acne, and it's like, okay, but maybe it's something that like, even though you're eating the healthiest stuff, maybe it's something that you're eating or it's something that you're doing that like your skin does not like, your body doesn't like. It's not that you're unhealthy, like something else can be going on, hormones.
And your body's trying to protect itself.
Exactly.
Something is inside you that it doesn't like, and you're having an inflammatory response that can show up in your skin or multiple different ways. And you spoke about like your gut and your gut microbiome, which is very important. Like our gut is basically our second brain. So if we have issues in our microbiome where we're not able to digest food or take the nutrients we want to, or it's causing an inflammatory response, that's going to have a huge amount of different responses within the body, from brain fog to skin issues. It's going to show in different ways. And that's why we actually here in Newport have a lot of good functional medicine doctors around who have been trained in Western practices, but connect the Eastern philosophies to medicine to really look for more herbal ways and more root cause ideas before going down into
like don't get me wrong, obviously, like there's certain times where a medication is needed, like, you know what I'm saying, like you might get there where you need that, but like let's try to do other interventions before you have to take a pill every day.
Yeah, they both coexist together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
both
backwards.
both
It's
both
backwards.
are needed. Like, I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, you have an infection, like please take the antibiotic, you know what I'm saying, but it's just like there's, for a lot of like ways of life, like we can do like more natural holistic things to prevent, and not only that but treat, until we have to go to that extreme.
Well, it's a backward system.
It is. You're
we
totally
need to
right.
we need to do, it needs to go like naturopathic, root cause, and then you see a specialist.
Yeah,
Exactly.
if something isn't like, if we can't do it naturally, we should. No, I agree.
Wait,
because they have to like work together.
I have to just ask this question: what is like the stack for skin for collagen into age? Like, what's your favorite peptide for that?
One that's been really popular is GHK. It's been really good for skin health
We've
and
heard that,
and
yeah.
hair growth. That's been mostly the most significant one for anti-aging that we've seen on the market, that provides a lot of benefit for good quality skin health and hair growth as well. So that'll be the main one. I specifically specialize in peptides more for performance and recovery
Makes
stuff.
sense, yeah.
Like I'm not too focused on anti-aging. and
Yeah,
Well,
fragrance
come
and
on,
beauty side of
Troy.
it.
We
What
need
did you
to
say? I
know
didn't
what.
know.
Yeah,
My wife is. She's super like hyper
yeah.
focused.
We're gonna have P on here next.
Yeah,
I want her on here.
Yeah, so
I
she
love her so
she would
much.
actually have more insight into peptides that are better for that sort of stuff. but
We'll put a pin in that one.
I stick more focused to the recovery and performance.
So, what would be your favorite stack for that?
I currently am on ipamorelin and CJC 1295 for growth hormone production. I just noticed on that I cycle it, so I'll do maybe 8 to 12 weeks on a peptide and then have 8 to 12 weeks off and just cycle them, because you don't want to be on a peptide all of the time. And really to help, so growth hormone we men and women produce normally when we're in our deep sleep, our REM sleep, which is our full recovery process. So we need that release of growth hormone for recovery, for reducing inflammation, helping us perform, sleep better, train harder, diminish brain fog, just be hyper focused. So that's something that I find I get a huge amount of benefits in regards to my recovery and my ability to push harder as well, especially in training environments like in the gym and martial arts. I get the most out of my body on that stack more than anything.
Wow. Okay.
And I mean, any sort of injuries that come up, that Wolverine blend, like that
That sounds amazing.
And you're on that stack for, you say, no longer than 8 to 12 weeks?
Yeah.
And then take a break.
Then take a break.
See, that's another thing too, is like people don't know. So that's why it's so nice to like
Talk to somebody who's
go to somebody that, because then people are on this for like too long or whatever, and it's like, if you know.
Well, so like anything, you want your, like, getting sick is a good thing in regards to, if you get the flu every year, I feel like that's a good thing, because you want your immune system to be working. Like, there's no such thing as where you're so healthy that nothing can affect you. I think having an immune system that's dormant, like if I get a symptom of the flu during flu season, because I do have a good immune system, it lasts 24 hours and I'm fine.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's like me right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's very good to cycle your body through different things if you're using therapies that's, boosting its ability to optimize its performance, but also making it work on its natural cycle so that it's actually getting the most out of how it's meant to perform without any external influence. Adding in external influence is good because of the environments we live in. We need to support it in that sense, because we're exposed to so much outside inflammatory responses to the body. So having something that can boost it to get more out of it, but not becoming reliant on it, which is, when we talk about peptides, one that, like, some peptides that I have reserves about are some of the weight loss peptides that are out at the moment. One, because they're not being given out to the people using them with structured protocols on how to change their lifestyle habits. So rather than being a weight loss like tirzepatide, semaglutide, or something that has an extreme effect on weight loss without teaching someone the practices of changing their diet, or even are they exercising and training, which some of these peptides aren't just decreasing the amount of adipose fat tissue in your body, it's depleting your muscle mass as well. So when we talk about anti-aging, one of the best things for anti-aging long term is the amount of muscle mass you have in your body, male and female. It's the thing that keeps you younger for longer, and it increases your metabolic response to your environment. So how you intake food and get rid of waste and use those nutrients. But a lot of people are just using these peptides, seeing this great weight loss, but aren't changing their habits. So they're always going to be reliant on something that in the long term is going to cause a lot more health effects than losing the weight.
Gosh, it's so great. Like, I always joke with her, it's like all the tides. It's like a tide pool of tides, right? You have like semaglutide, tirzepatide,
and like
retatrutide.
it is like, you know, like when you're like, shoot, I want to lose 5 pounds. Like you think about it, like so important to go to somebody like you and that, where you're like, hey, we should probably be doing something more like this, because like what if there's something else that's going on, that it's actually a lot of inflammation, and we can actually reduce like what you think is weight with that. It's more inflammation, you know what I'm saying? You don't know.
Well, there's a multitude of different things too, because if your hormones are imbalanced, you're actually going to your fight or flight response will hold on to weight and fat, because it feels like it's in a dangerous situation where it needs to store that, because your body's not responding the way it needs to the environment it's in. And there are actually weight loss peptides that don't have effect on insulin sensitivity and muscle depletion. We have one that's called AOD 9604, and it is a weight loss peptide, but it doesn't affect your insulin sensitivity. It doesn't deplete your muscle mass, and it
Is it just for like appetite?
No, it's a peptide that signals your cell's response to actually burn stubborn fat tissue without affecting
Why are people
insulin
not on
sensitivity.
this one more?
But that's the thing with that, is that
AOD.
you need to have a requirement of lifestyle changes. So
Yeah, it's not just, you can't just take it and become skinny. It's like you need to like work with it.
Yeah,
like
if you aren't
out.
training with it, if you aren't looking at your diet and what you're eating, then it won't have the same effect as some of these other peptides, because
where they just won't make you eat.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
of course you're gonna lose weight.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Gosh, it's so crazy. Like, it's just crazy how really it's just our culture that we're into. It's a societal norm. It's a quick fix.
We talk about this in microwave generation.
Like,
we want it now.
Well,
it tastes better in the oven, but we want it
freaking. But no, I still use my oven. But
Me
I
too.
feel like people just need to remember, like, it's a marathon, not a sprint when it comes to changing your body. And it's not healthy to lose 75 pounds in 3 to 4 months.
Not when a third of it is your muscle mass.
Yeah.
I'm like,
just go to somebody.
Stop.
Like, we don't want to get like attacked or anything like that. Just go to somebody that knows what they're talking about, and maybe go see somebody that specializes in it first before you buy something online, or go to like one of these clinics that like don't really care about you.
Is
you know what I'm saying?
retatrutide actually the one out of all three that depletes the muscle mass the least?
Oh, I believe
I
believe so. I've got a good friend who's a personal trainer. He's very well versed in the science of these different peptides, and that's one. He's the kind of guy, like, he's not going to tell his clients to do something that he hasn't done, and he's not overweight in any way. But he's comes from a bodybuilding background, and he just did a 2-week trial on it to see the difference of what you're talking about. Yeah, but still losing weight, and his results were like, you could visually see they were great. Like, he didn't lose any size, but lost the extra stubborn fat that he was holding on to.
Just like shredded.
Yeah. But I think you talk about like the we want everything now, and like it is a marathon, not a race. We get so caught up in believing that that like we have this short sequence of life, that there's only this short period of time where we can maximize and have the most fun with our body. But that's like, I with our facility and what we do, like, I want to live well into my hundreds. Like, my number is 122. That's the age I want to live to. And we as a human race can live well into our hundreds based on what we do in our earlier life, and happily and healthily. Like, I want to be running around with my great grandkids and super active, and that just comes from different things that we do in our earlier part of our life, looking at it as a longevity point of view for long-term health and wellness, which is now we don't really have any excuses. We have all the information we need right at our fingertips. It all comes down to our choices and what we choose to do, and that's everything from alcohol consumption to the amount of time we spend out in nature, to the amount of time we expose ourselves to the sun, to then walking into a facility like ours where we have all these different treatments that start to optimize how your body functions on a cellular level, so you can get a much better quality of life, longevity, and being active and doing the things that you want to do. You don't have to be restricted to thinking 60 to 70 to 80 is old. It's not. That's just a program that's been run through our heads of like what we're told to believe. Oh, you want to work in a job till 65, take retirement, and then enjoy your retirement. Like, I would never stop working. I love doing stuff.
Well, at 65, that's only going to be that's less than
halfway.
half your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Literally.
You're like, well, I still have more than 50% to go.
Exactly. And it's just changing the mentality and the mindset.
I love that.
And that takes it right back to what you said in the beginning, is it's unlocking this.
Yeah.
Well, there's a saying that our psychology is our biology. So when we speak in the form of energy, our words become our truth. So the things we think about, the things we talk about, the things we tell ourselves, that becomes our reality. So when you can shift the focus on what you want for your future and shift how you talk about it, how you think about it, that changes your scientifically changes your biological response. That's why if you've ever heard of epigenetics, epigenetics is where your cells, like people say that they have the gene that has this form of cancer. But when we look at it, it's actually epigenetics where your environment triggers that cell to turn on. So it's not the fact that there's some lineage of cancer or something that's in your family that's the cause. It's the environment that activates that gene to bring on that response, which is epigenetics.
Dang.
That's like so crazy. I have there's a Harvard study where they had two plants and on opposite sides of the room, and they spoke negatively to the plant on the left,
the school kids,
and then positively to the one on the right, and just by words, nothing else, the one on the left died.
Yeah, everything is energy.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. You have to your mouth and what you say is so important, and your body listens.
Yeah,
your body listens.
Your body listens. Your body listens.
That's like in that frame, because I'm actually working with a few people that are going through cancer and chemotherapy, and different treatments with chronic health issues. And I'm openly forward with them. If you don't have the right mindset and belief that what we're doing here at Culture OC has the ability to help you and bring back the health that you need, it won't. You could have a multi-million-dollar facility with all the best equipment, but if you don't believe in it and you don't have the mindset of your body being able to heal itself, which it can, with given the right inputs, then it just won't, because you're already like controlling the response through your thought process or limiting its ability to maximize the benefits of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, you're already stunting it.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so if you had
I was about to say,
like a one-liner or like a mic drop, something to say about your psycho,
which is
you want to end
biohacking,
with, what would it be?
I love it because it's. Can I say a couple of things and mold them into one?
Totally. You can say whatever you want, Troy.
This is your one-liner. This is your
this
time.
is your paragraph. I don't care.
I'm not going to take a breath or stop, so it sounds like one line. But if you want to take the island, burn the boats. So have you heard that saying?
You can't get off the island if you burn the boats. It just makes sense.
You have to
to
learn
me.
how to build.
Like in anything in life, and there's another one coincides with that. Don't have a plan B because it takes away from plan A. And I think for me, what those messages really signify is that if you are really passionate about something and want something, you have to be all in, and you have to take away any outside potential that you would steer away from that. Because I'll be honest, even being business owners and being in business, there are times when you want to give up and you want to quit. And if you're not all in and it's not your passion, when it starts to get hard and continues to get hard, you just give up. So if you're genuinely really want something out of life, whether that be anything, a relationship, a business, a family, like a physical feat that you want to accomplish, honestly, burn the boats and take the island, because there's no way out.
Take that island.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that.
That was a good one,
Troy.
Troy.
And take the island.
Okay, so because now me and Ashley, I was trying to have us both go before this because I've been to your place, but we will be going. But all of our viewers are going to want to go.
Yeah.
So where can they find you? Instagram, website, tell us the company, everything.
Yeah, so we're in Newport Beach on the corner of Birch and Bristol, just behind John Wayne Airport there. Website is cultureoc.com. So you can even book online if you go to the website, has all our information on there. Our Instagram handle, where we do a lot of educational stuff, is cultureoc_. And then YouTube channel, Culture OC, where I do like a lot of educational stuff, even put up different podcasts and things that I've been featured on, just to get the word out there and share more information. So that's where you'll find most of our details, for sure.
And I can tell you guys, it's absolutely beautiful, amazing. Like, you just met, like, I came in there because I knew your wife, and you just met me, and you, like, broke down everything. Like, you were so thorough. Like, every time I go in there, it's an experience, and I feel like I learned so much, so I love it. So we can't wait to come back.
Honestly, I just learned so much within this, and so I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you girls having me on, and obviously, as you said, you've been there, but I can't wait for you to
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going.
Yeah.
We're going.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Thanks, Troy.
All right, thank you.